Imagine a land rich in culture, unified in language and customs with a shared identity. This was Korea before the split. In the annals of history, we find a Korea that was a single entity, a nation steeped in a rich, vibrant culture that spanned thousands of years. From the ancient kingdoms of Goguryeo, Baekje and Silla to the more recent Joseon dynasty, the Korean peninsula was home to a civilization that was uniquely its own. Koreans shared not just a common language, Hangul ingeniously crafted by King Sejong the Great in the 15th century, but also a shared way of life. The people of this land cultivated a society deeply rooted in Confucian values, a society where respect for elders, love for learning, and a strong sense of community were paramount. The politics of this unified Korea were equally intertwined. Dynastic rule, with its intricate power structures and political alliances, shaped the course of the nation for centuries. Despite the occasional internal strife and external invasions, the peninsula always managed to retain its unique identity, culture, and autonomy. But the shared history of Korea is not just confined to the pages of old. Even today, despite the division, there are commonalities that persist, bonds that have not been fully severed. The language, although it has evolved differently in the north and the south, still has the same roots. The love for kimchi, the spicy fermented cabbage, is universal. And traditional holidays such as Chuseok, the autumn harvest festival, and Seollal, the Lunar New Year, are celebrated on both sides of the 38th parallel. So it is clear that the two Koreas, as we know them today, were not always two. They were one, sharing a common past, a common heritage. Yet the tides of change were soon to sweep over this unified land, carving a line that would shape two drastically different futures. The end of World War II, an event that shaped the globe, left a deep, lasting mark on the Korean peninsula. It was a time of transformation, a time of change. Yet this change did not bring unity, but rather a division that would forever alter the course of the Koreas. In the wake of the war, the Korean peninsula found itself caught in the tug-of-war between two superpowers, the United States and the Soviet Union. Each had their vision for the future of Korea, each had their ideologies, and as the Cold War began to take shape, so too did the division of the peninsula. The 38th parallel became more than just a line on a map. It became a symbol of two worlds apart. The South, under the influence of the United States, began to embrace democracy and capitalism. It was a rocky road fraught with challenges, but the seeds of modern South Korea were being sown. The North, under Soviet guidance, established a centralized, planned economy and a single-party state, laying the foundation for the North Korea we know today. But it wasn't just foreign influence that divided the Koreas. Deep-rooted ideological differences played their part too. While the South sought a future guided by democracy and free markets, the North clung to a vision of self-reliance and socialism. These contrasting philosophies added fuel to the fire, further entrenching the division. And then came the Korean War, a brutal conflict that cemented the divide. It left an indelible scar on the peninsula, a scar that reminds us of the cost of ideological discord and the price of division. Thus, the paths of the two Koreas diverged, each embarking on a journey of its own. A journey shaped by the choices they made, the ideologies they embraced, and the influence of those who sought to guide their destiny. As we move forward, let us remember that while we can't change the past, understanding it can help shape a better future. From the ashes of war, one half of the peninsula rose phoenix-like to become a global powerhouse. This is the story of South Korea, a country that transformed itself from a land ravaged by conflict into a beacon of technology, culture, and democracy. In the years following the war, South Korea faced formidable challenges. Poverty was widespread, infrastructure was in ruins, and the economy was in shambles. But the South Koreans, imbued with a spirit of resilience, worked tirelessly to rebuild their nation. Their efforts bore fruit, and by the late 20th century, the country had emerged as one of the Asian tigers, a group of nations known for their rapid growth and industrialization. South Korea's economic miracle didn't stop at manufacturing and industry. The country also embraced the digital revolution, investing heavily in technology and innovation. Today it is home to tech giants like Samsung and LG, and is a global leader in fields such as robotics, biotechnology and telecommunications. This technological prowess has not only fueled South Korea's economy, but it has also shaped its society, transforming it into one of the most digitally connected in the world. But South Korea's rise isn't just about economics and technology. The country has also made its mark on the global cultural map. The infectious rhythms of K-pop, the compelling narratives of Korean dramas, and the creative genius of its filmmakers have taken the world by storm. The South Korean wave, or Hallyu as it's known, has swept across the globe, bringing with it a newfound appreciation for Korean culture. And let's not forget about democracy. South Korea's journey towards democratic governance has been marked by challenges. But through it all, the people have remained committed to the ideals of freedom, transparency, and the rule of law. Today, South Korea is a vibrant democracy, a testament to its people's commitment to these values. Today, South Korea stands as a testament to the power of determination, progress, and innovation. It's a country that has defied the odds, transforming itself from a war-torn land into a global powerhouse. And as we look towards the future, we can only anticipate what this dynamic nation will achieve next. While the South flourished, the North closed its doors, choosing a path of isolation and centralized control. North Korea, a land of enigma and paradox, embarked on a trajectory that starkly contrasted with its southern counterpart. The country chose to erect walls, both metaphorical and literal, isolating itself from the rest of the world. Its economy, heavily centralized, has struggled to keep pace with global advancements, and its people have had to bear the brunt of this economic hardship. In the heart of this isolation, a personality cult was born, a phenomenon as intriguing as it is disturbing. The North Korean leaders Kim Il-sung, Kim Jong-il, and now Kim Jong-un have been portrayed as divine figures, their narratives woven with myths and legends. They are revered, worshipped and feared, their portraits hanging in every home and public space. This personality cult, coupled with a tightly controlled media and education system, has shaped the mindset of the North Korean populace. But beneath this facade of unwavering loyalty and reverence lie the grim realities of life in North Korea. The challenges faced by the North Korean people are manifold. From chronic food shortages to a lack of access to basic health care to widespread human rights abuses, the populace endures a life that is unimaginably tough. The regime's iron grip on information and freedom of speech has further compounded these issues, leaving the populace with little recourse for change. But perhaps the most challenging aspect of life in North Korea is its international isolation. The country's nuclear ambitions and disregard for international norms have led to sanctions and diplomatic standoffs, further deepening its isolation. This isolation, both self-imposed and externally enforced, has perpetuated the country's economic struggles and impeded its development. In stark contrast to its southern neighbor, North Korea remains shrouded in mystery and controversy. The country's choice of isolation and centralized control has resulted in a starkly different destiny, a destiny that continues to captivate, intrigue, and concern the world. Today, the two Koreas stand at a crossroads, their futures intertwined yet uncertain. The relationship between North and South Korea is as complex as their shared history, a mix of hope and apprehension, anticipation and caution. The recent years have seen a thaw in relations, with diplomatic dialogues and symbolic gestures of unity. Yet there's a long road ahead. The path towards reconciliation is strewn with obstacles: political ideologies, nuclear weapons, international pressures, and economic disparities. But then, there's another scenario: continued tension. The Korean Peninsula, one of the world's last remaining Cold War frontiers, may continue to be a hotbed of geopolitical strife. Yet, amid the uncertainty, one thing's clear. The future of the Koreas is not just a regional issue, it's a global one, affecting peace and stability far beyond their borders. As the world watches, the two Koreas continue their dance of diplomacy, each step carrying the weight of their shared past and separate futures. The tale of the two Koreas is a poignant reminder of the power of history, politics and ideology in shaping a nation's destiny. The division, a mere blip on the timeline of their shared past, has etched deep scars, visible not just on maps but in the hearts of families torn apart, in the aspirations of youth moulded by differing ideologies, and in the resilient spirit of two peoples bound by a common heritage. Yet, in every sunrise over the Han River and every sunset over Mount Paektu, there is a glimmer of hope. A hope that the future may hold a different narrative, one of reconciliation, unity and shared prosperity. A hope that the threads of shared history may once again weave together the destinies of North and South. As we look to the future, we carry with us a hope for peace, for unity and for a brighter tomorrow for both Koreas.